Private military company PMC Wagner leader Yevgeny Prigozhin has called off the march to Moscow and ordered his fighters to leave the city of Rostov-on-Don, just a day after a revolt that questioned the legitimacy of the war. According to Wagner's Telegram channel and subsequent reports, the situation was diffused by a call from Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko. In a recent development, Russia has offered Prigozhin a deal that would drop charges against him and his fighters for their involvement in the armed uprising, which carries a potential 20-year sentence under the Russian Criminal Procedural Code. Prigozhin stated that he did not wish to cause harm to Russian soldiers and that his fighters would return to the field camps. It appears that Prigozhin's anger stemmed from deeper issues beyond being ignored by the Russian Ministry of Defense regarding the supply of artillery rounds. This episode sheds light on the larger socio-political dynamics in Russia, triggered by the ongoing war, which have created challenges for individuals like Prigozhin. Commentator Valina Chikharova noted that a successful coup would require the support of key political figures within the Russian government and Putin's closest allies. She emphasized that any real coup attempt would have to take place in Moscow and would require an overthrow of Putin's inner circle. However, it is important to consider Chikharova's critical stance towards Putin in the war. Notably, there have been no reports of dissent from the Prime Minister, the deputy chairperson of Russia's Security Council, the Security Council's secretary, and the head of the semi-autonomous Chechen Republic, who are part of Putin's inner circle. Interestingly, the episode has not affected Russia's international standing. While the Wagner revolt unfolded, Putin had phone conversations with the leaders of Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan, informing them of the situation. Additionally, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan expressed his full support for Putin. This indicates that Prigozhin did not enjoy the support of Russia's elites, who continue to solidify their alliance with Putin. It is unlikely that he was unaware of this lack of support, as will be discussed further. In fact, Russian officials have widely criticized Prigozhin's actions. Prominent pro-Kremlin social media groups quoted Crimea's head, Sergei Aksyonov, expressing his full support for Putin's statement regarding the attempted armed rebellion. The head of North Ossetia urged Ossetians serving in PMC Wagner not to obey Prigozhin's orders. However, the most severe rejection came from Ramzan Kadyrov, the head of the Chechen Republic, who labeled Prigozhin's actions as a betrayal and called for the rebellion to be crushed. Kadyrov, known for his mix of ultra-Orthodox Islamic governance and Russian nationalism, demonstrated a staunch allegiance to Putin. In his Telegram channel, he criticized Prigozhin's actions, emphasizing that wartime is not the time to voice personal grievances or resolve disputes. He pledged to take harsh measures if necessary. It is worth noting that Kadyrov had previously differed with Prigozhin during a feud in May, where Prigozhin complained about the lack of ammunition supplied by the Russian Ministry of Defense. Kadyrov highlighted the unavoidable challenges of coordinating with the Russian Ministry of Defense and the regular military during wartime. The Russian Ministry of Defense blamed Prigozhin's provocation for allowing the Kyiv regime to concentrate its units for an offensive. Prigozhin later retracted his previous statements about changing the president and running the country, clarifying that he sought control of the Russian Ministry of Defense. Prigozhin's unpredictability is evident in his past actions. For instance, when he threatened to withdraw from positions captured by Wagner fighters, the city was captured a week later. In another video, where he spoke with Russia's military intelligence chief and deputy minister of defense, he refused to withdraw his men and vowed to continue his march on Moscow unless he met with high-ranking military officials. If Prigozhin were to reach Moscow, it can be assumed that he would make similar demands but refrain from opening fire, as he is aware of the severe consequences and retribution from the Russian state. The FSB case against him for inciting rebellion carries a 20-year sentence, and engaging in armed conflict with the state could result in the death penalty. Prigozhin is undoubtedly aware of these realities. Reports indicate that Rostov-on-Don and Krasnodar remained calm with Wagner troops in firing positions but no violence. Prigozhin himself has consistently supported the war, albeit criticizing the Russian Ministry of Defense's alleged bias against Wagner. He has given his private military business a professional and corporate image, aligning with Putin's military and defense industrial modernization efforts. This includes establishing a sophisticated PMC Wagner headquarters in Moscow and recruiting various professionals to enhance Russia's combat capabilities and security. Prigozhin's sudden change of course can only be attributed to motivations beyond his dissatisfaction with the war's progress or cause. Speculations abound, ranging from testing the waters for his political ambitions to feeling threatened by the emerging security architecture in Russia. However, the exact reasons for his actions remain unclear. Analysts suggest that Putin's openness to dialogue with the West, under certain conditions, and the potential absorption of Wagner PMC fighters into the formal Russian military structure may have posed a threat to Prigozhin's relevance. Putin's remarks about participating in peace talks and the need for contracts with the state and defense ministry likely irked Prigozhin, who has repeatedly advocated for escalating the special operation conducted by his company. In conclusion, Yevgeny Prigozhin's decision to call off the revolt and withdraw his fighters raises questions about his motivations. While the exact reasons behind his actions remain uncertain, it is clear that he did not have the support of Russia's elites, and his stance posed a challenge to the existing security dynamics in the country.